10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ah, come on.
Dire team ban. Dire team pick.
Clockwork!
DC's turn to pick.
Drow Ranger.
Puck!
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Warlock.
DC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
No.
DC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Currently,
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. DC.
Whreck.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bat Rider!
DC's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Oracle.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Anything successful past his TR3 run. So, he's got a chip on his shoulder, but, all of these guys, like, they have some amount of pedigree to them.
Yeah.
And individually, there's a lot of skill there. It's just a question of, how do you put it together? Like, this is like the sort of age-old problem
10
for
seconds
almost
remaining.
all Dota teams, right? You got a lot of individual skill. Now, how do you make it mesh?
5 seconds remaining.
And that's
Phantom
difficult.
Assassin.
We've even seen that in these qualifiers. What was it? Crescendo, I want to
DC's
say. This
turn
team
to
that,
ban.
of the European region, you're looking at freaking Ake, EGM, Cinderin. These are some big-ass names in the scene. They went, I think they got 2 wins in group stages. So
I mean, they also are some older names
That's
in the
true.
scene.
10 seconds
Have fallen
remaining.
off somewhat.
yeah.
But these guys, first 10K, Forev, Dubu,
Dire
just,
team ban.
it was pretty recently.
bright
that,
future,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty recently that they got their hot start. Like Mason,
Definitely.
M-God, like he's been performing really well.
Yeah.
It's just, like, you got to make sure that the draft lines up for these guys. Like, I feel like
10
this patch right now
seconds
is
remaining.
pretty formulaic. You get a one of Clockwork, Sand
5
King, Night
seconds
Stalker,
remaining.
Yeah.
and a self-sustaining one position. Your mid hero
Dire
pool
team
is
pick.
only so large as well, and then you get some offlaner that like does shit. That's it.
That's all you need. That's the
That's
recipe.
this patch right now.
Yeah.
And instead, okay, so we haven't talked about the draft that much.
Now that the draft is almost finished, I guess we could probably look at that.
But we
Will's
have
team.
we have Rubik Oracle out of Digital Chaos.
Yeah.
And I like Rubik. Why
10
Oracle?
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I think you're with everyone else there, frankly. We've seen him a couple times also,
5
again, covering the
seconds
SARE
remaining.
region over these last couple of days too, and the hero continues to be, on paper, he sounds actually
Reserve
pretty
time.
good. In execution, though, it doesn't really come through. And has been brought, I think Draskell even made the point, he's actually one of the more technically difficult 5-position supports to play.
Yeah, so this is probably the Bulba Rubik, Dubu Oracle. And Rubik can roam around and do stuff on the map. And I sort of get why they went that route this game, just because they have Drow Aura, and it sort of enables all these range heroes that they have right now.
Yeah.
So they're going for, but at the same time, for their last pick with Drow strats, you need something to sort of frontline, start a fight, do something. They have that with the puck right now, but
Bristol is still on the board.
it is, It is.
Yeah.
But I do like multiple forms of initiation. Bristle, I guess you can just run in there and it's good. It could be their offlaner.
Tidehunter, another one that we haven't seen a lot, but you want that beefy presence that can just get in there and start things off. Obviously, he can do that well, so
10 seconds.
maybe another one that comes to mind. That's
They go-
not that.
Okay, this is
Puck off lane then?
no. This is a mid puck. They might aggro or they might like send two heroes top. Weaver though, this is
Interesting.
very interesting. There's not like a and that's Wheel's team fight. So if there's like not a huge amount of control right now, so if maybe DC's idea is to sort of spread them out with Weaver Puck, but you know,
Yeah.
I like so far the only thing I really see here that DC has is, you know, they got 5 ranged heroes with Drow Aura.
10
Like that's their
That's almost overkill.
that's their strategy right
Yeah.
now. It also like it doesn't feel good for them to like. I also feel like if they go 5-mana tower, and they're not super far ahead,
Yeah. Who's going to be up there?
It's scary pushing into potentially like Clockwork Hook into Warlock, Batrider lasso somebody.
Yeah.
I guess they get the Oracle to counter the Batrider, but the thing I like about Wheel's lineup is that they have multiple ways of initiation between the Clockwork, the Batrider, and the Storm.
Yep.
And like this is what has been winning games in this meta right now.
I agree with you, and it's almost like just seeing the lineup of Digital Chaos, like you say, on paper with the synergy of the Drow. That final pick, it almost seems like that they were really set on that idea, like, well, we need to get somebody that also has that synergy with the Drow, and they already had a Puck, you know, to take care of that. You don't need to overkill it. They might have done that to an extent.
Yeah, I would have liked like a Void or a Tide, you know.
Yeah.
Anything to offer that team fight. I mean, I think DC is probably the better team, so draft might not matter that much. They might just be able to play this out. I don't think it's such a huge outdraft that DC can't win.
Well, I do look at Wheel's lineup and definitely feel a little more comfortable with it at the points that you've given. And Phantom Assassin's kind of an interesting pick as well. Not your everyday one-position hero, but also looking at the Oracle, though, the idea of Fate's Edict being a disarm against Phantom Assassin could be interesting. Use of it. Obviously, the Fate's Edict defensively is a pretty good tool as well. Things like with the Batrider and obviously Warlock being out, the Fatal Bond spreading out. So Oracle's going to need to be on top of, you know, using that ability wisely, and that kind of goes back to the idea that Oracle is a difficult technical hero to play. Not that Dubu can't do it by any means, but going to be looking out for that in these fights here.
You know what would have been cool to see? You send the Drow top, and you give the Weaver the 1v1 versus the Batrider.
Okay.
Because Weaver does well in that lane, and then you can use the Drow plus maybe 1 or 2 other heroes to really pressure the PA. PA is like pretty garbage hero in the early state.
Yeah. That dagger spam can be a little annoying, but didn't they even increase the mana cost on that recent patches? So something like that. But point is, yeah, he's fairly weak overall, but they do choose to go the Weaver in that offlane, sure enough. So for Rev, we'll see how he's able to fight against that. Clockwork? Is he going to do a courier snipe? He's trying. Mason? Yeah. That's not Mason. What am I saying? That's Mason.
Oh, he missed.
He can't block it.
He missed.
Yeah.
And I guess the other, something that we didn't really talk about is Rubik is actually pretty decent against Clockwork in the early game. True. If you get cogged or something, you can always lift him out.
That is very true. So you look at the Clockwork right here. He's also playing 9 games with the courier, whoever's controlling it. But eventually, it's going to be sent back, and he doesn't want to spend too much time trying to make a play on it. Fortune's End bottom lane activates on a Batrider and allow Oracle to kind of poke in there. Some damage out onto the Batrider.
You know, this is really nice for Forev right now. He gets a 1v1 against the PA, and he has Drow Aura.
Yeah, that seems a little odd of a decision here by the Dire side to not. What was Warlock doing?
I mean, he has to babysit the Storm a little. while Clockwork's going for the courier snipe.
Okay.
If you leave Storm early by himself, it feels awful. Storm's like also a pretty garbage hero in lane.
Yeah.
Against most mid matchups now. It's like really easy to bully.
Okay. Well, right now, 9-1 Puck versus a 7-0 Storm Spirit. Obviously, there's that support to keep in mind. Rubik's been here really from the beginning. Warlock was there, is now at the top lane. And so Weaver, it's level 2 though, allows him obviously get the Shukuchi to go with that Gemini attack. A little more harassment himself, ideally get some last hits in there.
Yeah. To be fair, Weaver is also a pretty crappy hero level 1.
Yeah.
So it's, and you have a PA with Poor Man Shield, so you know it's okay. You can leave him alone for, you know, a couple of minutes.
Bottom lane, Drow Ranger, of course, having essentially free farm down here. Oracle's doing a good job of zoning out the Bat Rider, it feels like, who's only 3-0 currently. He does have boots, though. Firefly's going to be coming up in a couple of seconds, but is this kind of expected? Bat Rider is going to struggle when it comes to CS, but I guess levels he's going to do all right.
Yeah, just because he is getting zoned out by the Oracle. I think right now, we have Mad trying to move on the puck right now, but this is not an easy kill.
Oh, meanwhile, first blood goes out at, that was the bottom lane. No, the top lane I want to say, and they also kill Clockwork, as that's a solo kill from Abed right there. And a lot of that had to do with Clockwork. He actually put the cogs out on the wrong puck. He went to trap the real puck, and he went for the illusion instead.
You know, I don't even think that matters.
No.
I don't
fair.
think there's anything he can really do to that lane. Like, he's got the big problem right now is that he has level 1 cogs, and I guess he can do that and burn his mana, and that's very cute. But like the big part about Clockwork that's scary is that he starts off with boots first, and if he has battery assault, he can just run at your supports with battery assault and kill you at level 1. And that's what he should be doing to this Oracle right now in conjunction with the Bat Rider. And you know, that's what makes him scary. But he doesn't have that right now. He's got cogs. So Dubu is not scared at all. He realizes, hey, this Clockwork's just hits level 2. Yeah. But, you know, he can do whatever he wants right now. He doesn't have to be scared of this guy.
There's that mana burn that we're talking about, and Abed's like, well, whatever. It's not the biggest deal. We'll pop a Clarity, actually. Clarity wins games from what I've heard, especially in the backbacks there. Weaver, top lane. He's going to go toe-to-toe with the Phantom Assassin and a Warlock, and then eventually Shukuchi. He's the one with his own sentry down, so they can't see him currently when he activates that ability. And speaking of Clockwork, back down here, looks like Fortune Zen initially roots him. The zap from Bulba, not going to be enough, though. And another Fortune Zen's coming in 3 seconds. He also does have that
Bulba's
Purifying
too far
Flames,
back.
but yeah, a little too far back, and wouldn't have enough mana to combo anyways.
And now Clockwork's missed his window now. Both the supports have boots. He's under-leveled, just level 2. Both the other 2 supports are level 3.
Yeah.
Bulba's even got a Windlace now, so his early impact is... It's going to be hard for him.
To figure out what he can really do here effectively in, well, middle lane. It's kind of part of it. Lifts up the Storm Spirit. Of course, not level 6 yet, so doesn't have that extra mobility. The Fortune's End perfectly timed, and Abed credit for the last hit. That was honestly just execution at its finest there.
Yeah, there's a nice smoke up by Bulba. Moves around, realizes, hey, there's nothing to stop this right now. And Storm, he needs to kill the Storm because Wheel has committed a lot of resources to protecting his lane. Warlock started out there. Clockwork went over and tried to got Mason getting gone on, but he's just going to TP out. But yeah, Clockwork went over there and tried to burn some of Puck's mana. So there's a lot of resources invested in mid, and if you can kill Storm at his most vulnerable state, despite those resources being committed to him, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's at level 5 especially. Again, he still is level 5. Fortune Zen hits actually both. Clockwork the cogs, though. Gonna make sure that he stays alive on an Annihilate there, and will help do so at least, but the pressure's clearly gonna be kept up, and Storm Spirit having trouble getting that level 6 mark. Puck is also still only level 5, though. That's probably what it saw that Dream Coil come out and secure that kill. Just gonna pop this Shrine, as that just spawned here recently. We'll heal on up, but again, Rubik sitting in the area. Bulba continued to be in that nuisance, and Storm Spirit's deciding to jungle for the time being, trying to get his ball lightning before he probably goes back to the middle lane. They won't be as vulnerable anymore. be a good idea. Bottom lane though, Drow. Power Tread's already finished, has the full magic wand here. Looking good. What item build on a Drow should we expect to see here, you think?
You know, it's your usual tanky stuff where, okay.
Yeah, I caught that. That was a Dream Coil commitment. Yeah, finds a solo Clockwork there, though.
Yeah, Clockwork now, like, this is what Storm needs to do, is just go go to the jungle and get his levels, because Clockwork needs those levels even more now. He's a roaming Clockwork that hasn't gotten anything done on the map. In fact, he's fed 2 kills. But back to your question, you know, Drow just gets the normal tanky stuff. Dragon Lance into Hurricane Pike.
Okay.
Probably a BKB later, maybe perhaps a Manta as well.
Is Silver Edge actually potentially good this game against Phantom Assassin?
Yes.
Okay.
It's also an option. But, you know, mostly just your tank up, get a bunch of stat items.
Well, off that idea too, and I know this item has kind of died out now. Granted, we actually saw it last game, sure enough. Helm of the Dominator, is that anything that you could put? Because especially if they're going to be pushing with the strat, you know, getting the Alpha Wolf, is that a valid, or is just Helm of the Dominator not good enough anymore for Core?
It's really not that good anymore. Typically, you get it if you want to do stacks, or if there's like a wolf. You know, you want a creep that's particularly value, but, you know, the build-up is just not as good as it was when it was, like, super broken anymore.
Yeah. Probably not going to see it, but yeah, that item really just died off ever since the final nerf to it several patches ago. One was the hottest item when 7.0 first came out, though. That's
Dude,
for sure.
when that item first came out, it was so good. Everyone bought it, and everyone would just have a bunch of neutral creeps running around, throwing lightnings at you and Satyr blasts.
You saw like 2 or 3 a game on each side. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, derp, derp, you are dead.
Yeah, he is. And Warlock gets picked off. I saw them up there. I went away for a second, thinking like maybe have some time. No, they did not. Meanwhile, Puck's trying to find a solo kill, and he'll get it. Abed gets out as well. Clockwork could not do anything about it at that point. Batrider falls though.
You know what makes Oracle especially good this game
that?
and more viable? Yes, it counters the Batrider to an extent, but they can get away with it because Warlock is an even shittier roaming hero.
That's fair. Yeah, he's all about getting that level 6, of course. Chaotic Offering right there, but not the case, and he's staying away from upheaval too. Warlocks are interesting, I feel like, as far as their builds go. We'll see some Warlocks even max out upheaval from the beginning. Others, in this case, you know, just stay away from it. Just go in Fatal Bonds in the Shadow Word.
Yeah, I mean, he's against a Weaver and a Puck who do not care about upheaval, so it's sort of whatever.
Reacting to the game right here. Batrider, top lane. Lasso is not leveled up, though. He is level 7, but doesn't, or hasn't put the point into it just yet. But look at this Puck here. Veil at Discord already finished onto Abed, and he obviously already has 4 kills to work with that, too.
Yeah. Breaky, I would like you to click on the Warlock right now.
Okay. Clarity. And a minor, or an Iron Branch here. Yeah, it's not the most far. Abed ninjas the tower and gets away against 3 heroes in a creep wave.
Yeah, this is a Warlock that feels like he has no place in the game. He cannot do anything again. Oh, we got Storm getting gone on.
He's on stuff, but not long enough. He's got a gust, yeah. Or the full ending, that is. So
yeah.
He's good. But yeah, Warlock, really just get him level 6, right? Like, you just need to somehow, maybe even farm with him. Just get him 6.
Yeah, he's just going to do these stacks, or he's going to stack all these camps, hope Storm, you know, takes them, and then just sap the EXP with him.
And see, Clockwork actually just bought the tome. I was going to, but you give that to Warlock, right? Like,
well, Clockwork also needs levels, because at this point, until Batrider gets a blink or those drums, Clockwork is your ideal initiator.
I guess. Man, Chaotic Offering's so good, but yeah, these earlier on ganks, getting that hook shot, which actually he does get level 6 from it, so we'll see what plays he can make with it.
Yeah, it's just like these little things that snowball the game out of control for you. Clockwork skills Cogs to get the early courier kill. Doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Now he's got Cogs. And he doesn't move bottom. Can't really pressure Dubu. It's just like all these little things.
Top lane, little things happening up here. Phantom Assassin dealing with the Dream Coil. He basically just goes toe-to-toe with Abed, figuring he might as well get some damage out of. There was no way he was getting away from it anyway, so this Abed here, he's definitely living up to his name recently as being a very active and good mid player, and Blink Dagger's just about on the way here too. 1730 gold saved up. They're going to have no ways to deal with this. Oh, that's a hook shot miss, by the way. Honestly, that was probably a miss for the better. Because he was doing that into a puck as well as a draw nearby.
Yeah, he feels like he's got to do something right now, and now Forev's like he has like a fair amount. Look at him, he's just pressuring this Weaver, or he's pressuring the PA right now, despite being, you know, an off-lane Weaver. And again, that comes back to the fact that Derp had to sit mid and help the Storm because Clockwork was going for the courier snipe and didn't have battery assault. So, you know, all those things stemming from that one failed attempt mid.
Yeah, no, that's very true. The whole snowball effect is definitely kind of kicking in right here. As far as a negative way, unfortunately, it's going uphill, I guess, or something. I don't know. Anyways, you get the point. Phantom Assassin. I want to talk about his build for a second. He's actually going to be building into a Vanguard here. Why not? Why that over maybe like a Vlad's?
Well, I understand why he went for the Ring of Health. He needed some way to sustain in lane against the constant harass of the Weaver. He had the Warlock there, but, you know, Warlock, you know, you don't have infinite mana. You need some sustain yourself. To some extent, you know, we have
they're actually trying to kill this Rubik, but the False Promise comes out, and now Clockwork's going to end up dying because that Bat Rider, excuse me, at least we'll be able to port out Gust. No, not going to connect, and cooldown right there. So, but the False Promise ends up saving Rubik, and again, the turn kill on the Clockwork as well. But yeah, back to PA.
Yeah, so he has to get the Ring of Health. He has the Stout Shield anyways. He also wants to not get bursted in fights, and it's only about 1,000 more gold for that survivability. You get a lot of value from Blightstone in terms of damage already. Shit, might as well go for it, right?
Fair enough there, but yeah, it's one of those maybe not the most ideal, but hey, he has a full-on Vanguard now and the eventual Abyssal Blade.
There's also no single item that turns around the game for him.
Yeah.
He needs to not die. He needs to have, you know, he prays to RNGesus that he can survive in fights and then get crits off.
Yeah. Again, the other option there I feel like was the Vlad's, but it would be nice armor to have against this Radiant side, but he's the only melee hero that really matters with that, to be fair, as far as lifesteal aura. So
I'm personally, well for Vlad's, everybody gets the lifesteal aura, regardless of whether you're melee or not.
Has that always been the case?
Yes. Well, not always, but for quite a while now.
Really? Okay, because that's one of those I guess I never translated over, unfortunately. Anyways, Mason bottom lane. He gusts away. They were going on him with the lasso, but now that the support's here, they're going to fight into this trap, unfortunately. Mason may end up going down. Storm Spirit wants to get the kill. Clockwork now joins the party with a hook shot. They finally get the raid boss killed. And they also got Orko from before, but they're going to lose at least 3, probably a 4th in Clockwork to top it all off. Ovid barely stays alive himself, to be fair, but he ends up with a double kill.
Stole the zip.
Did he? Oh, that helps.
That's so value.
Full ending there. And there you go, the big turn at the bottom lane. Again, trying to make some plays with the lasso. It's understandable, but ends up backfiring of sorts. And they lose 4 in the process. So, well, even more to that point then, going back as that big fight breaks out. So I guess that you could argue then Vlad's does have even more value then, the possibility. So, again, I'm not trying to sit here and suggest that, like, oh, Vlad's is going to be the biggest difference maker in this game, but...
Well, I also don't really like that much Vlad's too much on PA, just because it delays your damage items a lot. Yes, it gives you some damage, but the problem is that a lot of times you want to go in there and hit things and like you want to go in there and just start being that threat. When you have a Vlad's, you're actually not that much of a threat, and the lifesteal, if you're not getting hit in the first place, it doesn't help you sustain that much. If you're not doing damage, you're not lifestealing very much.
Yeah. We're going to run on a Mason, or not actually Forev playing the Weaver this game, but he uses the time lapse. Unfortunately for him, 5 heroes are here, and they still run him down actually. So, yeah, it's a 5-man game for Wheel, but of course a prime target in Weaver. If they get picked off right there, however, their top lane is starting to be pushed in now as, speaking of Mason, on the Drow Ranger, he's got the 4-staff finished. The BKB is, no, that's going to be Hercule practice going to be finished. Oh, the Dragon Lance, that makes sense, okay.
Radiant's
finish pulling
bottom
Hurricane
tower
Pike here
is
shortly.
under attack. Radiant structures.
As well, Clockwork still setting up. Hookshot is ready to go. Oracle is nearby though. False Promise is online and ready. Dagger goes in, doesn't really get the coup de grace proc from it. And here comes a counter offering. Also chance for Wheel to benefit off of this. Oracle puts the False Promise onto his teammate and actually just tries to survive himself by running. That's not going to work. Mason does get out though on the Drow. And now Boba's on the run with that ball lightning that he stole earlier. Abed meanwhile getting a couple of pickoffs. Brev actually finishes off Derp on that Warlock. And they're trying to chase, but these are tough targets to chase as we stressed from the beginning of this game. Not the greatest lockdown for them. And clearly shows off in the end of that last fight. So, I mean, it wasn't the worst exchange this time around, but it was only a 2-for-1.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they used Rock. They lost both their supports. All they really got at the end of the day was Dubu. And Dubu is traditionally going to be really poor on DC, even when they're winning.
Playing that Oracle right here, and again, he got his abilities off, really, and that's what matters. In that case, saving the Drow, make sure she got out, and now they're going to translate into a Roshan kill.
Yeah, when Rock's down.
He's scared. Mason picks it up. He just that is, and that Hurricane Pike should be finished.
Oh,
here
Dota the 2
shortly.
is in trouble.
Come on, bye.
He has coil soon.
Oh, the Firefly stopped. And all of a sudden he runs right into the tree. Like he's smacked into a brick wall there. Ends up getting killed as a result, so yeah. Didn't even have to use the coil at that point. Yeah, look at Abed. He actually went the Veil into the Blink into bots here. He is just very mobile now.
Oh yeah, this is perfectly fine. He actually, interestingly enough, skipped the first talent.
Oh yeah, wow. He's level 14 here. Level 15. He's got to get a talent here, right?
Yeah, I mean he probably will, but I think he probably felt like the points in his abilities were more value than another 8 intelligence. He's already up so much, like 8 more intel. Who knows?
Didn't need to be that much smarter apparently at that point, but yeah, now he's got it anyways. And 15, he'll probably put I assume 50 damage as his next talent there. So that much more kill potential gonna be coming out.
Definitely going for the 50 damage.
Yeah. Especially with how aggressive he is this game. So, and a very good puck, as you would expect. On the other side, Storm Spirit, he's actually almost got his Bloodstone finished. He did go Power Treads first, so can't break that up.
Yeah, it's you see it more commonly now, so I'm just going for the Power Treads, just because like your kill potential is just a lot better with the treads. And even like by the time you get that Bloodstone, you still feel like you need treads to have some impact in the game anyways.
Yeah.
At least if you get the treads early, maybe you can do a little more rather than have the mana boots.
Yeah. It's obviously going to help that much more for survivability, so.
The item also got buffed. You get like 2 more of strength, intel, or agility.
He's sitting here at the bottom lane. Okay, he's just sitting for the energy booster actually, which he just got enough gold for. So he has a full soul booster, needs the pattern of 900 gold. Then he'll have that Bloodstone online. And that's going to be so key here for Wheel, because it's one of those, as usual for a Bloodstone, but I think more importantly in this game because of how it's looking, he needs to get kills that start adding up those charges. If he dies right away, goes down to 8, it's just going to start falling around from there. So that's going to be very key.
This is also a slow Bloodstone. Ideally, you'd like it around like maybe 15 minutes, 14, 15 minutes.
Clockwork. Blade Mill is being worked on by him. Still a ways to go, but level 9, so not too shabby here. Batrider with the drums first. We've been seeing a lot of that being picked up first, and the Blink's coming up next. But why do you think we've been seeing so much just drums first on Batriders?
It buffs up your team, makes you tankier. Like you don't want to just blink in there and die. It's like a team-oriented item.
Yeah. Shadowblade, Drow Ranger, being worked on at least. We mentioned Silver Edge possibility, how that could get this game.
Yep, necessary for the PA. He has the Hurricane Pike already.
He's gonna throw out those daggers from a distance. Death Slitter finished, mentioned that. So there's a coup de grace. That helps if that kicks in here. Could be some big damage coming out.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to need a lot of those because they're very far behind right now, and at the moment he is like the majority of their damage, those crits.
Oh, jumps in, oh my god. Oh, didn't even get any crits right there, but unnecessary. A lift on a Bat Rider, the Dream Coil locking him in place. Chaotic Offering hits 4 heroes. Oracle, the only one not hit though. So False Promise still ready to use. Chase on a ripping in the backlines. There's a False Promise apply to Drow. And Drow's like, I'm out of here. He's going for the TP. It's going to be stopped though. He has to fight this. He's not fighting this whole time. And he is going to die after the False Promise. So they just full on try to retreat right here. And that's going to bite them in the ass, it feels like. Oracle also goes down. No buybacks on either. Abed, if he stays alive, you know, it's still all good really. And he is, but that seems like an odd decision to just... Mesa just was full-on retreat mode, even despite the False Promise.
Yeah, it looks like they need a little more to be able to save him because, like, False Promise is just not enough at that point if KVH gets some good crits off. Like, there's not, like, after the... If a Drow dies and they use all their spells, like, there's not a lot of follow-up for DC. Their only sort of team fight is the puck.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's hard to punish on the... It's hard to punish Wheel on the high ground. They did get the tower, though.
That's true. They got tier 3, so they got that objective at least. But I think it also really goes back to the great point you made in the end of the draft right there, is that they don't have that strength presence. They don't have that tanky hero that can at least lead the way and allow them to then feel comfortable sitting out. Because right now, yeah, it's really the Drow kind of has to just sit from a distance poking at the tower and hope that they don't get jumped. And you also look at Storm Spirit, got the Bloodstone before that. He's at 14 charges now. So we mentioned how that was going to be a key right now to the shifting momentum in this game, and they capitalized. So definitely not over. 8,000 gold lead or net worth lead for DC is nice, but Wheel definitely has chance.
Yeah, they have decent high ground defense potential, but you know, Warlock ult is down now.
True. For how long? It's 1 more minute here.
So they're gonna take the free shrine. The other big thing is that 4F really needs some more items right now, because if they're high ground pushing, this Weaver doesn't really do anything. Throws out some bugs.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel safe to hit the tower himself because, you know, he didn't have that Aegis. He also does like no damage.
This almost feels like an Axe kind of game for a Weaver. Like he's kind of that he's the offlane Weaver, obviously. Could you see that, or would you rather just see him build more damage as you're getting?
No, I like the Ags. Okay. Maybe get a damage item and then go Ags. I mean, he does do some damage because he has Drought Aura. Finally, more now because he has that Diffusal.
But it does seem like that they need more of that utility, because right now with him, Drow, and Puck, they're all... I guess Puck kind of brings that a little bit, but he's looking for kills himself. He's not looking to, you know, save teammates or help anyone out necessarily.
Yeah, he's not going to be saving.
Can't use your teammates.
That would be so broken if you could.
I know a game that allowed that. Yeah, it was one of the key differences that people would always talk about. Good old Heels allowing that.
Yeah, Han had its charms.
Yes, it did. I miss SmackDown kills. That's one thing I really do miss, I'm not going to lie. Good old taunts.
To some extent, I do miss the Dagius GG spam.
The G's raining from the skies, or yeah, just spam in general, yeah. Yep, it had its definitely had its good things. Anyway,
this is annoying for Annihilate.
Bottom lane down there, he's able to get out, but right on the cliff, just running out of mana.
Yeah, you're a mid-storm spirit and you're getting bullied by an offlane Weaver.
Yeah. Not the best feeling in the world, but again, he has 14 charges on the Bloodstone, so positive there, and they're looking for a big jump. Drow would be a nice target. Oracle is nearby. Hook shot, unfortunately, misses right there. Dagger's going to go off. Will not necessarily connect, but he Phantom strikes in. They also catch the Oracle. Face Edict up as making him immune to quite a bit of damage, though. Storm Spirit also in the back line does catch the Drow, but the False Promise applied to him and allowing him to escape. Oracle goes down, as does Warlock, so either side losing their main support. No Chaotic Offering coming out, of course.
Get in there, Weaver.
Well, Abed wants to go in. He gets the kill on a Clockwork, and now Annihilate is in a lot of trouble. Weaver, speaking of him, he runs right into the wall.
He's got a Bloodstone deny. He's got no mana.
Yeah, he will deny right there. That would have been key if he did not, but... Phantom Assassin, oh, he goes down, the triple kill for Abed to finish the job.
This is the woes of playing a Storm Spirit from behind. You spend all your mana to go on one target, you don't kill him, and then you're just a Storm Spirit sitting there with no mana. and it's just like a big sign on your head saying, "Kill me, I'm worth a lot of gold."
Yeah. Yep, he unfortunately had a tough time in that fight, as most did, and Ovid finishes with a hat trick, and now he actually has a Lincoln's. Is going to be coming out, and oh, by the way, he's level 20. No big deal. 10% spell amp as a result.
Holy crap. He's like...
Dire's
He's
top tower is
so
under
far
attack.
ahead right now.
Yeah. Storm's level 17, the closest in the game overall, yeah. So he's got that 3-level advantage plus.
You know, even when Storm gets this Orchid, there's not too much he can do with it. He has to go on the Oracle every single time. It's the only hero that he can kill in a team fight, or else whoever else he gets Oracle or goes on is just going to get False Promised, healed, and that's about it.
I don't know if, speaking of that Oracle right there, I don't know if that was him being preemptive, but he had Fate's Edict on him when he got lassoed up and pulled back, and that actually kept him alive a bit longer, because obviously he was immune to all that magic damage, especially from the fire of the Firefly. So if that was especially, you know, very well played by Duba right there, and you know, that is going to be a nice tool to have against all this magic presence.
Yeah, how the fights need to go for Wheel is the Storm needs to jump and Orchid the Oracle, and then Bat needs to lasso probably the Dro.
Okay. So try to coordinate that in the fights and give yourself the best chance, but you do. We mentioned.
I mean, ideally you would like to lasso like the Puck or something, and then
Good luck.
Yeah, and then KVH just starts hitting the Dro.
Yeah, Puck now, as we mentioned though, with that Lincoln. So does he even have a removal himself? Yeah, he doesn't have like a 4-staff yet, so couldn't even take that off at this point. So he gets help from somebody else. What was I going to say though? Oh yeah, Ag's coming out for Weaver. So sure enough, he is going to go that direction. It's a saving tool there. Yeah, allows cheese.
Allows Mason to high ground safely.
Draw Ranger. Sure enough, poking in, as we talked about, that don't really have that beefy presence in the front lines, but with the Aegis, feeling pretty comfortable. Silver Edge has been finished as well, so now has that break for the Phantom Assassin specifically. Take away that mischance. Probably just going to poke in right here. I would just, poke in, finish the tower. Why not? Really that worried? Gus, actually, there we go. So healed on up a little bit, but that's another tier 3 dead. They did get the range racks earlier, remember. Actually, Clockwork Initiation will catch Puck, and that's a big kill coming out. He does have buyback, but without Puck pushing here, I don't know if you want to stay around. Good EC. Ovid by himself.
Right, they can't even lasso the Puck anymore. He's got Lincolns, but regardless, he still dies.
How was that the Orchid? Did that catch him?
Might have been a dagger to break the Lincolns.
Yeah.
And KVH does have a Abyssal Blade now.
Oh wow, that's not bad. With the Deathslayer, he actually is really becoming a massive threat now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mason just picked up that Talisman of Evasion, so he's going to need an MKB on top of that.
He's not even going for that right now. He's going for the AC, which makes sense. I mean, a lot of physical presence here, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he also hasn't seen the Talisman yet. Once he sees that, he might switch it up.
True. Is it that much priority? I mean, that is only going to be the Drow, to be fair. Does it really make a point like he needs that MKB?
Well, Drow is like a pretty high priority target because you have to burst him down quickly. Just because he provides so much damage to the rest of his team.
Yeah.
You know, 5 ranged heroes, that Drow War is a big deal. Also, once the Dro dies and KVH can't get broken anymore by the Silver Edge, it gives him a lot more freedom to run around the team fight and do whatever he wants.
What about a BKB for PA? I'm trying to think that, like, again, it's one of those that's good against the Puck especially, but is that really going to stop damage necessarily?
I think at this point, I wouldn't get it just because you just have to, at some point you have to rely on your team to be able to control the other members of DC, right? Mm-hmm. You actually have a fair amount of disable. Like every single person on this team has some team fight control. So you just have to hope that you get the better jump, because your purpose in this game is to deal a whole bunch of damage.
Yeah, get the coup de grace procs, get somebody two-shotted, and go from there. So, Rodovatos picked up by Batrider actually, so a little bit more crowd control, especially against the likes of
Puck.
like that Puck. Yeah. There we go, Hurricane Pike away from Drow, and Storm Spirit goes right after Rubik in the backlands. False Promise going to be baited out on him at least. Dream Coil meanwhile locking down PA. Back here, Abyssal Blade stun Puck. Actually, that's just a Bash Rock, it looks like. Chaotic offering the upheaval in the midst of everyone, though. Drow goes down. Aegis going to bring him right back up, though. Oracle heals on up. Everyone going to be still alive for DC. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit and Warlock are dead. Warlock, though, again, he did his job. But with Storm Spirit dead, he has a buyback.
Are under attack.
They may try to finish off the melee racks now. Yeah, Drow's going right back in. He still has that cheese. In fact, no break. Oh, there's the break effect, I believe. You see the damage coming out onto the PA. In comes Storm Spirit, though, with the buyback. The Vortex on in. Mason. Glimmer Cape, it seemed like, also surviving with that. Storm Spirit, that's a dieback. Down goes Batrider. And that could all but do it here. PA just simply could not stick enough to his target. Space Eater could have disarmed him, actually. And they will finish the job.
Just unfortunate initiation for Wheel. Like I said, he has to jump the Oracle. I think he expected that the Batrider was going to jump the Oracle and he could go on the Rubik.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fast enough. It wasn't synced up. The coordination wasn't there. And so the moment that Rubik got jumped, Oracle immediately false promises it. Doesn't die, and then at that point, like, as a Storm Spirit, you've used all your mana to not kill a hero.
What do you do?
And you're you're mid. That's like